My father had a severe case of narcolepsy, and that's the disease where you have an uncontrollable urge to fall asleep. Lesser known symptoms are bizarre, vivid, hallucinating dreams and cataplexy. When Dad would have a cataplectic attack, he would have a sudden onset of debilitating weakness. His knees would buckle, his head would droop. He'd try to speak, but he couldn't form the words. And we learned early on that you don't speak to Dad when he's having a spell, because it only prolonged it. He was conscious, and the more he tried to respond to you, the worse the spell got. He needed to have time to sleep it off. When he'd wake up, it was evident he didn't feel well, but he would get up and he would go about his business. Dad took 6 pills a day of a very strong medicine to achieve that level of functionality. And I learned later in life that the medicine was known to cause increased irritability and psychosis. Dad had a quick temper, and he was prone to angry fits of rage. I have numerous memories of him storming through the house, shouting, "I hope I never see another one of you again," slamming the door so hard pictures would fall from the wall. And I'd call to my mom, "Do you think he means it this time? Do you think he means it?" Because as a child, I could understand the physical manifestations of narcolepsy, but I didn't have the capacity to understand the social, emotional, and financial impact of the disease. And once I became an adult, he confided in me the significant weight of frustration, sadness, and guilt he felt because he didn't provide a better life for his girls. Now, despite having such a severe case of narcolepsy, he always held a job. He was a self-taught mechanic and a factory laborer. Everyone in our rural community knew you brought your lawnmower to him when it needed to be repaired. Dad never had 2 dimes to rub together, partly due to poor choices and partly due to tragic circumstances. At one such juncture with some tragic circumstances, we were asked to move from the farm we were renting. And Dad panicked about keeping a roof over our head. So he bought the first place he felt he could afford, a 1/4 acre of land with a rundown trailer upon it. The roof leaked, and the furnace worked occasionally. Now, Dad was a resourceful man, and he strategically hung houseplants throughout our home that got watered every time it rained. He was a tremendous gardener, and he grew far more produce than our family would ever consume. But never once did he think to sell that produce for extra money. He carted bushel basket after bushel basket into the factory lunchroom with a sign that said, "Help yourself." Dad used his mechanical skills to keep an old car on the road for me to run back and forth to college. I called him one night and I said, "Dad, the brakes went out on my car." "Okay, bring it home, I'll fix them." "Dad, I have no brakes." "Get it fixed up there." "I don't have enough money to get it fixed." "Okay, well, you know how to downshift and you have an emergency brake. Bring the car home, I'll fix it." I drove the car 2.5 hours home, and he fixed the brakes. While I was home, he didn't believe me when I said, "I prefer to stay in on a Saturday night and study." Unbeknownst to me, he scraped together all the loose change and the few dollar bills he could find and exchanged it for a $10 bill at the local convenience store. He brought me an envelope that said, "Good time money." And he said, "Now you call a friend and go out and have a good time tonight." One winter evening, we were coming home from the viewing of a family friend. Dad took an unexpected turn into Dunkin' Donuts and bought us a treat. We got home. The furnace wasn't working. He lit a kerosene heater. My mom turned all the burners on the gas stove for added warmth. And the 3 of us sat in the living room having tea and donuts. And he looked around the room, the worn carpeting, the dingy paneling, the beautiful houseplants. And he said, "By God, we don't have much, but we have each other." Father's Day 2005, we invited him to join our family at an ice cream shop. Our then 6-year-old daughter ordered a chocolate ice cream cone. And as we sat outside enjoying our ice cream, I watched Dad watch her as the chocolate ice cream dripped off her chin, down her shirt, off her elbows. And he had the greatest look of contentment on his face. That was the last time I saw my father. He passed 2 weeks later of a heart attack. My dad taught me the value of hard work, self-reliance, and resourcefulness. He taught me that it didn't matter how little you have, you always have something to give. He taught me that material wealth meant nothing if you don't have in each other. He taught me sometimes it's important to scrape together a few dollars and go out and have a good time. And he taught me one of the greatest ways to experience contentment in this life is to celebrate the sheer joy of someone else. I'm Bob Williams' daughter, and he gave me riches that money can't buy. Thank you.